the blueprint of a melody. The air in the courtyard smelled of damp limestone, crushed juniper, and the sharp, clean scent of fresh ink. 7 years after the silence fell, the city commission had finally awarded the downtown cultural pavilion to Liam Vance. It was the architectural anchor of his career, a sprawling, luminous nexus meant to bridge the old arts district with the modern waterfront. Liam stood on the scaffolding, staring down at the blueprint revisions. At 42, the lines around his eyes were deeper, carved by relentless deadlines and a long-standing solitude that he had long since stopped trying to cure. He had built a life of precise geometry and predictable angles. There was comfort in the load-bearing certainty of concrete and steel. Then a sound drifted up from the plaza below. It wasn't the frantic, melancholic Bach of their youth. It was a single, sustained chord, rich, resonant, and entirely unyielding. Liam froze. His breath hitched in his throat. He dropped his red lead pencil, watching it clatter down the wooden planks before tumbling over the edge. Down in the courtyard, Ilara adjusted the strap of her leather portfolio. Her fiery hair was threaded with silver now, pulled back into a severe knot that defied the wild spirit of her 20s. She had played concert halls in Vienna, London, and Tokyo, gathering accolades like fallen leaves. Yet, standing in the heart of her old hometown to audition, soloists for a collaborative civic showcase, she felt oddly weightless. She looked up at the rising steel skeleton of the cultural pavilion. The architect's signature style was unmistakable, clean, bold, and unapologetically rigid. "Looking for the site supervisor?" a voice asked. Ilara turned. The man standing at the base of the scaffolding wore a charcoal coat, dusted with drywall powder. His hair was heavily grayed at the temples, and the ocean-deep eyes were tired. But when they locked onto hers, the breath rushed out of the world. "Liam?" she whispered. "Ilara," he replied, his voice rougher than she remembered, like gravel shifting underfoot. They sat across from each other in a dimly lit corner of an old cafe 2 blocks away, the kind of place that smelled of roasted chicory and damp wool. For the first 20 minutes, they spoke in architectural terms, timelines, acoustics, spatial integrity. They built a defensive wall of professionalism. "The pavilion needs a centerpiece," Liam finally said, breaking a heavy silence as he traced the rim of his ceramic mug, a focal point for the main atrium. "Something that breaks the rigidity of the marble." Ilara looked down at her hands, the calluses on her fingertips telling the story of 1,000 stages. "You always did love a challenge, Liam, but structures can't sing on their own. They can if they're designed for the right voice." He looked up, his gaze steady, stripped of the weariness that had haunted their last reunion. "I didn't build walls this time, Ilara. I built an amphitheater, open air, designed specifically to catch a violin's highest register and carry it all the way to the water." Ilara felt a tear slip down her cheek, hot and sudden. "You stayed." "I stayed," Liam murmured softly, reaching across the scarred wooden table to press his hand over hers. "And you came back, not as a ghost, but as yourself." The grand opening of the pavilion arrived on a crisp autumn evening, mirroring the day they had first met at the farmer's market. The atrium was packed with city officials, artists, and architects. At the center of the soaring glass and stone structure stood Ilara. As she tucked her violin beneath her chin, the acoustics of Liam's architecture caught her first note. Lifting it, multiplying it, and wrapping it around the steel beams in a breathtaking embrace. Liam watched from the upper mezzanine, leaning against the railing he had designed with her in mind. The music washed over the crowd, filling every empty space he had spent a decade guarding. It wasn't a summer dream anymore. It was a foundation, solid and enduring, built to last a lifetime.